What if you could buy investment properties without using your own credit? And if you do this good enough, you don't even have to use any money out of your own pocket. All right. Now, I know you probably don't believe when I say that. All right. But all you got to do is check my portfolio. Okay. And my bank account. So, my name's Gene Boykin. I'm the founder of the Go Getter Family Real Estate Investing Academy. And this is where I teach real estate investors to become the bank and buy investment properties by using a little known strategy that banks are hoping that nobody finds out about. Well, I found out, and I don't know how to be quiet. All right. So I'm about to give you guys some game tonight. So hit that like button, man. I want to thank you for joining me. And if you're new to my channel or you feel like I bring you some value, I want you to go ahead and subscribe to my channel. All right. Or you could just be a player about it. Hit that subscribe button. Let's go.
I'm a go-getter. They some go-getters. We some go-getters. Hope you a go-getter. Let's get it. I'm a go-getter. They some go-getters. We some go-getters. Hope you a go-getter. Let's get it. I'm a go-getter. Hustle to the end, we some no-quitters. Knock it out the park, we for show hitters. Right, left hemisphere, that's a dome splitter. Yeah. We control our own destiny. Make moves, cultivate whole legacy. Creative finance, bring more ecstasy. The right ingredients, now that's a dope recipe.
My people, drop some flames in them comments. Say what's up to your boy. I wish somebody would really teach me, but I don't have money. Well, that means that you're starting like I started. And I'll say this, Charlotte, where are you from? First off, and thanks for joining me tonight. Did you subscribe? Because there's plenty of game on this channel for free. There's that part. The other part is my guy Dennis. I was thinking about you earlier. I was like, man, I didn't text Dennis after I saw your text too, brother. Been moving and shaking, but we're gonna connect this week. My dog. Dennis got a couple of okay, you got a couple. You got Boricua Manis and Dennis Medina on that thing. Look at William. Veteran Family Solutions in the house. I like that. I like that, Wild Bill. We could even call you Wild Bill, and we'll throw in some of the real estate guy or something. I like it. Ooh, I'm about to get into it tonight, too. Y'all don't even know you came to a good evening this evening. Charlotte from Michigan, living in AZ. All right, AZ's not a bad market. Tiff and Tad, you guys got a verbal agreement today on a subject too in my favorite state of Tejas. That's what I'm talking about. I had a Zoom call last night with Tiff and Tad from a hotel room in Atlanta. We're going to real estate war out here. I don't know about y'all, but we're ready. Zenobia, what's good? We had our deep dive finally today. Okay. Big Bill, I love that name, man. I love that name. Jose Salcedo, I see you on my schedule, brother, for a deep dive. Love it. All right, let's get it in, guys. So tonight, I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about creative financing. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Tiff and Tad. All right, you never know, you might end up seeing them on a YouTube interview sometime, but because they're warriors. All right, but we got big plans for Tiff and Tad, the power couple, the power family. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about their situation, which is a very, very good situation, and not just thinking about just the house either. It's a good situation because of the way that we are going to have the opportunity to set up their business character in their marketplace. That's a plus because now we're looking at longevity. But look at Coach Molly's in the building. Okay, we got the whole go-getter family. Look at Coach Jerry and Coach Molly showed up at the same time. All right. Was y'all hanging out virtually or what? so so also, guys, I'm gonna because Tiff and Tad are working this deal, and there's a few moving parts to this because we're also not only looking at what's in front of us with their situation, but we're looking at some big picture things because we operate this at a super high level. All right. So I'm going to be talking about borrowing. Okay. And when I say borrowing, I need you guys to understand this. We ain't going to no bank. We ain't filling out credit applications. And for those of you that, if you guys don't know what points are, okay, points. If you own a house and you've signed papers for a mortgage, you've been charged points. I'll guarantee that. I'd bet my bank account on that. It's part of the closing costs. And so anyway, there's many forms of borrowing. We don't go to the bank and apply and qualify though. So I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to give you guys some foundational pieces about borrowing and about notes, okay? And we're going to go over the notes, some of the notes explained PDF that the Go Getter family uses for our training. Wild Bill, congratulations, brother. While Bill just joined the academy, he got the full course. So while Bill, I want to say this now too. First off, congratulations, man. We're glad to have you. I see that fire in you. Now, the other thing I want to say is this too. Um, Nardigus, was that you on my calendar, man? You might have to get back on there. It was somebody. I know I said your name wrong too. My bad, brother. Anyway, while Bill, I want to say this. You're in the academy, right? So when you got some situations here in the near future, I suggest that you kind of post about those situations in the academy so that way you can get assistance from fellow go getter family members, right? Because these insights and these details about creative financing and subject to will only serve to help you to get through, man. And then since you're in that you're in that proximity, man, you never know, might joint venture with you, but you could probably close it by yourself, honestly. So guys, I get off topic. Make sure everybody hits that like button. If there's any new people in here that may not be in the inner circle or something like that, that's okay. I want you to go ahead and put where you're from and put your name if you don't mind. We like to know who people are. So this is Monday night's Creative Financing Lab. Now I'm doing this on YouTube right now, but soon we'll be getting that over in our academy. All right, and we're going to be having a special for you guys for the public, and then we've got some inner circle people in there, some challenge people in there. It's on our platform. It's just a space, and there's a bonus exclusive material in there. And I'm going to tell you guys this, that material that's in the Creative Financing Lab in our academy, in the Go Getter Family Academy, it's the basic fundamentals of sales contracts. All right, and what I'm going to dip into tonight on the notes is critical. So let's talk about Tiff Tad's situation here real quick, because I don't know if y'all know, but that's a power couple right there. And I want to say this because the Go Getter family and what we do, we are all the people that are in the vicinity of this energy, right? And going in this direction, you know, we're moving in a positive direction where we're all growing and we're all becoming more, and we're all giving ourselves the opportunity to understand what it is like to control our time. And controlling our time means controlling our time is the result of getting good enough at something, mastering something to a level that you have enough money or bring enough value to the marketplace that the result of that is you have total and utter control of your time. And that is what we all truly want, because it's freedom that we want. Financial freedom is a tool to get us true freedom, but we got to fight for our freedom. We got to fight for it. And in fighting for that freedom, guys, we all have a different fight to put up. We all have a different journey to walk and a different battle to suit up for. All of us, because I talk to all of y'all. I have a deep dive with all of my inner circle students, whether it's in the beginning, the damn middle, or damn near the end. We gonna sit down and talk. And we gonna talk because we're all just human. That's it, right? But in this battle, you will come across people, man, that you know you thought maybe were on your team. You thought maybe that these people had your back, you know what I mean? And they wanted to go the same place as you. But once you get to a certain point, sometimes those people just can't go any further with you. And that's not on you. That's on their inability to not continue to grow. And I'm going to tell you this, though. This is why I'm giving you guys the game I'm about to give you tonight. If you understand this high level game that I'm going to give you, or you may have to watch this twice, but I'm about to give you some stuff to just help you just make it rain like a hurricane on yourself, on your business. Anyway, me, it's hard. It is hard becoming more. And I understand that. And that's why I always say that I'm not the one who talked you guys out of your greatness. I didn't talk any of you out of your greatness. As a matter of fact, I'm the one who continues to talk you into your greatness. Now, here's the thing with that greatness. In order to be great, you got to go through some things so that you can grow through some things. And me making that journey easy on you is not a benefit to you. All right. And because that doesn't prepare you for battle. Me making it easy on you won't prepare you for battle. And we are in battle for financial freedom. So drop some flames in the comments if you agree with your boy, man. What, Saji's in the building too? Hey, Saji, what's good? Nah. Nartigus. Nartigus. Now, are you saying, yes, sir, I said your name wrong? Or yes, sir, we supposed to schedule another meeting? I'll be having a little bit going on, my brother. My apologies. It's the easy hard principle, guys. And if you can welcome the hard, welcome it. Welcome the hard when we are traveling on a road that ends in us controlling our lives. Understand that, man. It's cool, dude. Because if we don't welcome that hard, well, then guess what? We will be mired in the misery of the other hard. Mired in it. I see it, man, every day. Every single day. He said both. Holy smokes. I'm 2 for 2. I'm just playing, man. Go ahead. You got that same link, man. Reschedule. Do it for Thursday or Friday, my brother, because I'm gonna be flying out Wednesday evening back down to Houston. All right. Anyhow, because Nartigas, I hope I said it right this time, is in my inner circle, y'all. My dog right there. So anyway, guys, we'll be mired in it, and I see it every day, man, and it kind of hurts my soul, even when it's people who I may have outgrown in my journey, and they couldn't come along any further, and for whatever reason, whatever bad spirits or toxicity still remains in their lives, well, it just happens to bother them a little bit. Now, it's not my intention to bother anyone except maybe the bank. But if what I'm doing bothers you, I'm sure you'll figure that out and work that out. But until then, I'm unbothered. I'm just saying. So that's how we got to remain. We're going somewhere. So Tiff and Tad have been working deals, man. They've been going hard. And I'm going to get them on here once we get this deal rolling so they can tell their own story. But I will say this. Both of them are super high level individuals, power couple, and they wanted something more, right? They wanted something more. They wanted that control of their time, their lives. They also wanted to be recognized for the value that they're bringing, whatever situations that they're in, and they decided that this was the way, becoming creative finance rock stars and going out and putting that work in. Well, Tad Tad quit that job that just over broke to go all in. Now, what I like about them and Tiff is they digested, man, devoured the material, and they made it to my round table. They had a couple deals slip through their fingers, and that was only because of the gaining experience, being in the field, swinging the bat, because you'll never hit a home run if you don't swing the bat. And see, this is the thing. This is what I love about Tiff and Tad. is there are people out there, there are people out here that make everything and everyone else the problem. They make everything and everybody else the problem. Their only problem is that they have to be around them all the time. They can't escape themselves. And if everyone and everything is the problem, well, the only common denominator is that person, right? And so there are those types out there. And then there are the types that have a willingness and are open to being pushed to their limits so that they can grow beyond what they've known because they want what they don't know. They want it though. That's Tiff and Tad. And so, due to that hard work, we're staring down the barrel at a deal right now. This thing is clean too. This thing is really, really clean. And we're going to do a lot with this. Now, Tiff and Tad, they're pretty handy individuals. Tiff with the logistics, the design, the architecture, the vision. And then we got Big Tad doing the putting it together, the integrator, so to speak. So we're going to do some repairs on this house, and we're going to do some marketing to get them established in their market. But here's the other thing we're going to be talking about. We don't like to spend our own money, guys. Now, we're going to buy this house by taking over the existing mortgage, not using our own credit. We're going to use somebody else's credit to buy this house. This house is in foreclosure. It's supposed to go to auction, but guess what? We showed up. Hi. We showed up. And since we showed up, and we are real estate professionals, and for those of you that don't know, there is a tax break that you can get with a tax strategy. It's just a little bonus tidbit I'm gonna throw at you, high level, where if you do the right things, you are considered a real estate professional under the tax code. And guess what that means? It means that you get to keep more of what you make. And when you get to the round table with the Go Getter family, we're going to teach you how to keep damn near all of it. I'm telling you. So that said, yes, you can be labeled under the IRS tax code a real estate professional. And it's rather easy to get that done. You know, you just, yeah, rather easy. So we'll talk about that sometime in the inner circle, and we'll talk about it in the round table because we're all real estate professionals. So we showed up, Tiff and Tad showed up, and they're going to do what it is they know how to do. Now, the lender on this thing is Carrington. All right. Carrington, I just got done punking Carrington, like Debo their asses too. It was awesome. I didn't get the recording of the second half of the call, but I went in the trick bag on them and pulled out just some rules that they're supposed to be abiding by that they don't abide by, that the public typically aren't aware of. Okay. And I actually just emailed the link to Coach Molly to put up in the academy so that you guys can have some more foreclosure mitigation options. So I just punked Carrington and got them to take the delinquent amount of the delinquent amount of the mortgage and put it on the back end of the mortgage and let me just start paying it anew. Voila, we're in there. So Tiff and Tad, similar situation, same servicing company, not that much to catch up. I mean, it's only like 10 grand, I think, for the reinstatement to catch up the mortgage. And we're going to buy that house that way. Then they negotiated to give, because there's about, even with the estimated, there could be 40,000 in repairs, but that 18,000 of that is the air conditioner if that doesn't work. So that's a lion's share, almost 50%. But even with the 40,000, we're looking at 90K in equity. And so that's the deal they negotiated is $5,000 at closing, and then another $3,000 start first payment in January. And I didn't catch how much per month though. I didn't catch that from Coach Jerry when he told me what you guys negotiated. So congratulations, big ups for that. Big ups. Now you got the verbal. So tomorrow you guys locked him in. You guys had to track this guy down. So we may have to talk about the takeaway a little bit. As a matter of fact, let's talk about that right now since everybody's here. So, for the YouTube world, y'all are lucky. Y'all are about to get some game. So, listen, Tiff and Tad, I heard what happened today where the seller was like, "Oh, he called you right when you pulled up and you drove an hour, right? And he called you right when you pulled up talking about, I hope you're not here yet. I got to take my grandkids to the chiropractor or whatever." Well, tomorrow, and then you guys entrapped his ass like, "Mm-mm, no, 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 no. Hold on a second. We got to get this done." And then you guys went in there, you did your cost to sell with him, showed him, the numbers of what it's going to cost you to sell it. Therefore, you were able to negotiate a favorable deal on favorable terms, turning the seller into our bank and leveraging the seller's credit instead of your own. And I'm talking to Tiff and Tad last night, just real quick. And I remember Tiff saying, I never thought we'd be, in this position, going over stuff like this and doing stuff like this. And I'm like, well, what do you mean? And she said that, they had talked about it a while back and they were just going to work on their credit, fix their credit, get it all the way up so they can get another investment property and then rent out the one they live in and, go about it that way. And that's a bit of a journey and that's a little bit painful. Now, this is painful too if you want to get really good at it, but which pain would you rather have? And Tiff was just ecstatic with the fact that what we were going over and what she had already discussed with her client. And we're talking about a house that's, I don't know, a couple 100,000. I mean, only about 90,000 in equity. I don't know. Sounds like a retirement account to me. She, those are the ones that keep going up. Shit, you ain't got to worry about the market and it being a bull market or a bear market this year. Oh, next year we'll bounce back. We'll get that 70,000 back in your IRA that we lost this year. Hopefully, when you retire. No, we're not doing that. We're getting it with real estate. So anyway, soaking in that moment was awesome too, right? And understanding the gravity of what you're doing and the gravity of what you've grown to as well. Because, you know, you guys are all here. You guys are all here because you all believe that you're worth it. You believe you're worth it. You believe that your family's worth it. And believing that you're worth it, believing that your family is worth it means that you have invested in yourself and you invested in yourself with the time, energy, effort, making it overcoming fears, overcoming obstruction, right? Overcoming discouragement, right? And people will put value into the wrong things. Value in what other people think about us. And if we put value into that, then we're too busy working on who people think I am rather than who I actually am and who I think I am. Or we put value in $200, $300 pair of shoes, $300 purse. Those are inanimate objects. You're here because you believe that you are worth it. You believe that your family's worth it. I know you're worth it. So, that being said, now we got to talk about the funding for this thing. All right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yes, sir. First thing in the morning, he said, yeah, y'all boxing his ass in. Oh, let me give you that tip. So now you can slip this in somewhere in the conversation. Okay. Um, you don't want to be like super aggressive with this, as if you had it planned. It just comes up in conversation, kinda. Like, oh, that reminds me too, Mr. Seller, so yesterday after we left, we had a meeting with our board of trustees, of course, because we let them know, of course, what we had agreed on. And we told them about kind of, when you called us when we showed up and such. And they were saying, that it made them a little bit nervous, that this situation isn't, as urgent for you, as it is for us. Now, that's the way they felt, Mr. Seller, not us. We know you care about, your situation. We know you care about making sure those dogs are taken care of with you, right? You agree with that, right? Yeah, I do, yeah, uh-huh. And our board of trustees, I mean, they're the boss, but they really they got a little nervous, and they kind of felt like this might not be the right situation for us, And but Tiff, right? She convinced them otherwise, of course. So, I just figured I'd say that, because this is an urgent situation. So we want to make sure that after you authorize this paperwork here, if we do have to reach out for you to, for anything, whatever that may be, if you can't answer, hey, we get it, but we do need you to call us back, pretty timely here because we've got this situation. And so we did talk our board of trustees, into staying with this thing so we could help you. Does that make sense? Are you against that? That's called a high level takeaway. High level takeaway. We've got to set the stage. We've got to set the stage, and we've got to control the environment. It's got to be a controlled environment. Controlled, man. I'm telling you, you got to control the environment. If you control the environment, guess what? The result of that is a house. I like having assets. Hell, I was sitting in first class today talking to a fellow millionaire, and I was giving her so much game on trust. She loves me. I saved her life. Literally, I just made her, what do you call those? I don't know, not twilight years, but whatever. She's retired and all that. I just made it wonderland for her. Literally sitting next to her in first class on my flight, real quick, and then I'm gonna get into notes, the power of notes. Okay. And guys, hit that like button. All right. And if you're new to my channel, my name is Gene Boykin. I'm the founder of the Go Getter Family Real Estate Investing Academy. All right. This is where I teach people to become the bank in real estate and take control of their financial well being and their family's financial well being. I also teach them how to take back their time and really, a lot of times there's self-respect and dignity because that boss, that manager, they got one more time. hmm Well, I help you to get on out of that. Now, we got a lot of the players in the house here that are in my inner circle in the Go Getter family. I love it. Look at Raina's in the building. All these people, all these people. This is amazing. We got the coaches in the house, Coach Jerry, Coach Molly, Saji. This is awesome, man. I love y'all, man. I love y'all. I'm glad y'all are here. So I'm talking to this lady, and she's from Storm Lake, Iowa. I find out I'm from Sioux City, Iowa. Storm Lake, Iowa is like where like the wealthy people live. The owner of the Minnesota Timberwolves is from there. Go figure. So anyway, we get to talking about trust. It comes into the conversation, and my eyes light up because I'm like, I know a lot about this, and I know. Anytime I'm talking to anybody worth 10 million or less, I know that the information that I tell them about how wrong their trust is structured will blow their minds. I know it. And I always start with this. Let me give you some sauce. So this way, you'll know how to talk to wealthy people. Okay. You'll know how to strike up that conversation and take it on down that lane. Okay. So I know for a fact that typically, and this is educational purposes only, guys, I'm not an attorney, licensed accountant, any of that stuff. So you do want to seek the advice of a licensed professional in your state. Okay. Now, I am, however, a go getter, a certified go getter. Okay. Now, anytime that you're talking to a wealthy person and trust come into play, you know, um, hey, look at Dr. Joel. Okay, in the building. What's good, my brother? Happy to have you, man. Happy to have you. So anytime trust come into play and you're talking to a person of means, right? You'll want to say, if they say, "Oh yeah, we have a trust," "Oh, it's a living trust." Yeah. Now you can go down this lane. Yeah, I've got my trust set up too. And the funniest thing, and now I happen to see this a lot once I talk to my attorney about it. My attorney suggested that I name my trust my name Living Trust. And I says to my attorney, well, doesn't that defeat the purpose of having a trust? Don't we want privacy with our assets? If we name our trust our name, everybody's going to know that's our assets being held by that trust. And 9 times out of 10, what they're going to say is, that makes so much sense. My trust is my name, living trust. I said, as soon as she said that, I was like, got her. Y'all, the flight was 2 hours and 20 minutes. We didn't stop talking. And we was talking about the millions, just the millions. Her farm that she owns outright with no debt being worth about 2.3 million. That's what it was recently appraised at. Her two Porsches that she drives, 2023s, by the way. I said, "Ooh, you look like you like to drive fast." She said, "Well, they're the SUVs." I was like, "Those are fast though." But long story short, her one of her sons got married just 1 year ago, and before they even got married, the wife, who wasn't the wife at that time, told her, the woman I was talking to, that when she was gone, when she transitioned, and her son got her farm, which was going to be her husband, so it was going to be hers, right? Half. She was going to build a bunch of tiny homes on her farmland. And so even with the trust set up, she thought that that's what was going to happen. And she was about to sell her farm and she didn't want to, but she didn't want no tiny homes on there. She was also dreading the taxable event that would happen by selling the farm. And woo, did I just give her some game. I said, well, it doesn't have to be that way. It shouldn't with a trust. As a matter of fact, boom. And I hit her with it, man. I gave her all types of games. She was like, "Oh my God, thank you so much." She like damn near wanted to cry, y'all. I told her how, oh man, she's got a family that works like the farm for her to get the yield of the corn and soybeans. She was telling me, and she was going to sell it and she didn't know what was going to happen to them. Well, now the trust can own that when she transitions to the next chapter of her life, right? Our afterlife. The trust can own it and rent the land to the family that's been working the farm for her anyway. So they would pay her rent based off of the crops and the yield that they got. They got to keep the profit. And guess what? When you're gone, now your farm is a cash flowing asset. It creates income and generates a monthly income. And guess what? The trust owns it. The trustee manages just the finances, the details with the money. And guess what? Then, too, now, a living trust is set up with an A, B. Okay. There's a dormant trust. There's a trust that is sleeping, hibernating inside of a living trust until something happens. If this, then that. So I said, if you feel like they might marry somebody who's not, the best type of person, well, if they get married, then the beneficial interests of this trust shall pass solely to their children. Those children are not allowed to sell the assets held in that trust, and they can only reap the avails, proceeds, and profits from that trust. Boom. And if they get married, guess what happens then? I said, so now your farm, it lives on forever. The family that helped you by working on your land and getting your yield for your farm, now they have something. And guess what? The conversation that you're going to have with Scott about that, I bet you that's going to be a good one. She said, "Oh my God, he's going to be so happy." And da 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 da. She was like, I was going to sell it. She's like, "You don't know what you just changed for me." And I'm like, I'm glad I could help. I'm really glad. And I said, I said, now, Sally, I charge people a lot of money for this, but that's okay. We're just friends, just talking on our flight. So listen, guys. Now she's telling me, she's like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna call my lawyer today and da 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 and this, that." And then she said, "Well, and then I gotta call my financial planner." And I was like, "What now? He's wealth management, right?" Yeah. I said, "Was he rich?" Because I know a lot of wealth management people and they don't have any wealth, Sally. I don't know if I like taking advice from those types. Then, listen, she told me this. Check this out, guys. This is what just talking to people will do, and then having just high level information, man, about things that matter. And guess what? What we're talking about and what I teach you all, it matters in damn near every aspect of a person's life. I'm trying to tell you something good here. So I say, Sally, She says she gets to talk about her bank account. She says, "Yeah, my bank account, I got my bank account, my CD." And I was like, "Ding, ding, ding, ding." Now this story means something because I'm gonna teach you guys about the fundamentals of getting private money from people like Sally. Oh, her and I are gonna talk. But you never go in just off the top for the kill. Mm-mm. No, that's a slow grind. Anyway, so this segues right into what I'm gonna teach you guys. But Sally says, something about her CD and her bank account. And she says, "Yeah, I kept my bank account under what the FDIC insures." And so I'm like, "That's 250,000 that the FDIC insures." And she says, "Yeah, I got about," and I said, "Hold on now, Sally." I said, and this is before when she said just the bank account one. I said, "Hold on now, Sally." I said, is that bank account held in trust?" And she says, "My bank account in a trust?" She says, "Well, no, I don't think it." I said, "Well, Sally, if it was, you would know because it's a whole thing that you have to kind of do to get your bank account into a trust, turned into a trust." And so she says, "Well, no, then it's not in a trust." I said, "Sally, no, you're gonna give me a heart attack on this plane. Now I want to make it home. But listen, now it's great that you have the farm in a trust. Okay. So that way that asset, that $2.3 million asset, it won't go into probate. But that bank account that's right there at that FDIC insured limit, that's getting frozen. And then that bank account is going into probate, Sally. It's not held in a trust. Any assets that you have that aren't held in trust, Sally, they're going into probate. And you know what happens at probate, right?" She said, "Well, a lot of time and a lot of money." I said, "Oh, yeah." I said, "Yeah, fees." I said, "Lawyers, they get paid hourly. And they may be $300 an hour, but they didn't tell you while they're talking to their associate in their office about your case. Well, he's getting paid $200 an hour at the same time that your lawyer's getting paid $300 an hour. And if they bring another person in, another associate, well, that's just another 150 an hour for that 20 minutes that those three were talking about your situation and how they're going to divvy up those bank accounts that you got." She said, "Oh my God, I've got like 5 of them." I was like, "What the fuck?" That's what I'm saying in my mind now. I'm just doing cartwheels. And I'm like, "What, dude?" She did not look like she owned two 2023 Porsches, a $2.3 million farm. She didn't look like she's lived in several different countries. She was a Spanish professor at the university there in Storm Lake. And here we are. I got to even tell her my line. I said, "Now, Sally, I tell people this at least once a day. I only look like this." It took her a second. She's like, "Gene, you're so funny." So I told her, I said, "Sally, your bank account and any other personal valuables." I said, "Do you have valuables? Any other personal valuables?" I said, "What about your cars? Those Porsches. If those aren't in trust, Sally, those go into probate." And she said, "Oh my God, my farm equipment." I was like, that farm equipment's pretty expensive, isn't it? 80,000 and up. Do you guys know the headache and the pain and the heartache that I just saved Sally on this lowly plane ride in first class from Atlanta, Georgia to Omaha, Nebraska? Do y'all know? Really? I literally saved Sally hundreds of thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands. And I said, "Sally, and this is just because I love y'all, I'm gonna tell y'all this stuff." I said, "Sally, you do know," because she mentioned the FDIC, right? She mentioned the FDIC, right? And she made them right around that limit of the FDIC insured. And I said, "Sally, now you do know that there's an order of payout with an FDIC insured bank account." And she was like, "I have heard that." I said, "Do you know the order of it?" She said, "Well, it's the people at the top, I think." I said, Trusts are paid first in the order of payout. So when you hold your bank account in a personal property trust, well, guess what? Since you're right there under that limit of 250,000, you're insured. Now, when you do transition to the other side, nothing happens, Sally. Nothing happens because the instant that you transition Whoever your successor of beneficial interest now owns the benefits of that bank account and nothing changes. Now, you can set it up to where they can only pull out a certain amount. If you want to control it from the grave, you can give them a weekly, stipend out of it. You can have it in so much of it invested and with so much of a return. I mean, you can control every aspect of it, Sally. And how good would it be if your grandkids got each year right there around Thanksgiving, maybe day before, a couple days before Thanksgiving, they got an envelope from grandma. They open that envelope and there's a nice check in there from grandma. Now, what do you think they'd be thinking about? Oh my God, I blew her mind. I blew her mind. Now, here's what I'm thinking the whole time. She's talking about the CD account that she started for. It's about to mature. It's like a year, whatever. And I said, well, how much are you getting on that? About 0.1% or so? She said, I'm getting 4.5 on it, but I got to let it mature though. It's about to mature. It's close to maturing. I was okay. How long was the maturation period? Oh, just a year. I was like, 4.5% isn't bad. We could give her 6% all day on a private money loan. Private money. There's three things that people want. There's money everywhere, first off. And why would you, dude? Federal Reserve notes are a waste of time and a waste of space, guys. And it's a joke. All right. Money in the bank, a pile of money in the bank is negligent at best, risky as a heck. But compounding compounding interest is different than that APR. Okay. And see, here's the thing about it. People don't know how to do the math, Zenobia, on interest, right? So if you're getting 4.5% interest, that's not 4.5% a month. I'll tell you, you take 4.5% and you divide that by 12. Boom. That's the interest per month that you're getting on your money. There you go. So let me just do it real quick. If I had I'm gonna do 200,000. So wait, 4.5, divide that by 12. So you're getting 0.375% per month on your money. So now what you do is you take 200,000. I'm gonna say she has 200,000 in the bank at 0.375% a month, guys, for 12 months, right? So you take 200,000 and you multiply that by 0.375 equals, that ain't bad. Wait, I did it wrong. Hold on a second. My bad. Let's say that shit can't be right. 5% divided by, boom. Then you got to move that decimal over. 0.0375% each month on the 200,000. So here's how much she's making on 200,000. Boom, times 0.0375. She's making 7,500 bucks to hold that $200,000 in a CD account for a year. And you know what that means? That means that the bank got that 200,000 and they went and got $2 million from the Federal Reserve that they could loan out. And when they loan that out, that 2 million, so they got 10x that 200,000. They took that 2 million, they loan that out, and when they loan it to somebody and they get a promissory note from that debt that they created out of thin air, and they get a promissory note from the new borrower, guess what? They take that promissory note and they go back to the Federal Reserve and they get 10x the amount of that promissory note. It's sickening. So let's talk about notes. Boom. Let's talk about notes. Hit that like button. This live, I've been going in. This is just some straight gems for the YouTube world. My inner circle's here tonight. So y'all need to thank my inner circle. I'm excited. A lot of y'all are here. So notes explained. Here's a definition. A real estate note is a legally binding agreement that outlines the terms of a loan used to finance the purchase or refinancing of a property. Now think about this. Just take this in real quick, okay? Because I need you guys to it's good to understand the traditional way of real estate, okay? Understanding that, but then knowing what we can do just becoming the bank, all right? So know that with some creative thinking, we can turn that to work in our favor when we have a security for that debt. You know what the security for our debt would be? The house that we bought subject to. That's the security for a debt that we can now create. So, the definition of a note is a real estate note is a legally binding agreement that outlines the terms of a loan used to finance the purchase or refinancing of a property. So, when you get a property subject to, what that is saying is if you're good enough at this and your business character in the marketplace is there and your ability to explain how it works. And that comes in more ways than just saying the words. We've got a presentation and just you can slide them over a document. And we've got a website now. We've got a private loan website. We'll be talking about that real soon. It's just about ready. Now, my guy Antonio's in the building. What's up? Okay. Yo, for all my people here, man, I want you to drop the name of your real estate business in the comments. While Bill dropped his, drop that thing again. I want you to drop the name of your real estate business in the comments, man, since everybody's here. So think about this. If it's an agreement for that shows the terms of a loan used to finance the purchase or refinancing of a property, guess what? When you have a subject to, and there's equity, there's room on that subject too, you can refinance that because refinancing something is you get a chunk of money and there's interest on that money and then there's terms of your repayment, okay? So, when you buy a subject to, that means you bought a house that you didn't have to qualify for the mortgage and the underlying debt on that house and it has some equity. Well, that equity, you can go to a private citizen, the public, and you can get a private money loan from them for some of that equity, creating a promissory note backed by real estate. They would merely have a second position behind the bank. Now, here's why they would want to do that. They've got a second position behind the bank and there's equity on there. There's space on there where their money fits in that they brought to the table. So, in the event, listen to me, in the event that you didn't pay back the terms of their private money loan that they gave you, guess what they could do? They keep all the money that they've given you up to that point. They foreclose on the security for that promissory note. So they would foreclose and get the house, therefore getting that instant equity in the house. They would have to service that underlying debt, but guess what? They could get a property manager, they could sell the property, they could do whatever they wanted. That's the security for us to pay you back because I lose if I don't pay you back. Does that make sense, Mr. Lender? And hey, now the return I'm giving you, it's a little bit better than that 0.0375 that you're getting in the CD over there. Hmm, yeah, that's right. You can pay them 5 or 6%. You can make semi-annual or annual payments. You can base the 5 or 6% based off of how they want their payments. If they do it semi-annually, it's 5%. If they do annual interest payments, you'll give them 6% interest. Boom. Now you got a chunk of money. You haven't hit your cash flow because you're not paying the monthly interest. You're paying them annual. So now each month you got that cash flow coming in. You got that big chunk of money that you just borrowed from your private money lender that's backed by this one property. You can take that money and you can go get another deal. And guess what? That's called business funding. That's all. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Let me see some names here. Okay, we got Veteran Family Solutions. Love it. Ooh, Circle of Trust Home Solution. I like it. I like it. Amina, another inner circle student, Pathfinders Home Solutions Group. Love it. Love it. I like this one. Tables Turned Property Solutions. Love that. Love that. I love this. Real estate advocacy group. Now you might have something going there. I like that. I love them all, but I like that real estate advocacy group. That's pretty cool, man. Like for me, that's a name. Well, all of these are names actually that I could see like, you know, I'm in a big city and like this is the real estate group, the real estate advocacy group. I see a billboard when I'm driving on the freeway into Philadelphia, right? Or I'm on the highway driving into San Antonio and I see a billboard that says Tables Turn Property Solutions, member of the nationwide network of creative finance specialists. Oh, man. Driving into Dallas, Texas, Pathfinders Home Solutions Group, certified member of nationwide creative finance specialists. Bam. Come on now. Look at it. Just let it roll off your tongue, y'all. I love it. I love it. Maximo Property Solutions. Look at Maximo. Okay, let's get it, guys. This is us. This is us understanding that this is not a moment, y'all. This is a movement. Really, because what we can do with real estate is it's only magic. That's it. This is why I say this is our opportunity to be unique in life, and it's with something that matters. Now, look, types of notes. So, guys, there's different types of notes. There are several types of notes, of real estate notes, including purchase money notes. Okay. Purchase money notes. It means what it says. Purchase money note. So the seller is giving you a purchase money note because that note is purchase money. It's being used for the purchase of this property. Purchase money note. You just created money and you get to pay back that money on the terms that are in that note. Voila. Then mortgage notes. Mortgage notes are something that you can sell on the secondary market. But if you have a mortgage note, that means that there's a public, that means that there's security. There's a security. There's been a promissory note that was created, and there's a mortgage security. So a deed of trust, right? For the deed of trust states, that's the putting the public on notice, and that lets you foreclose on that property too. That security is evidence for the government because the trustee's gonna administer the foreclosure sale, right? So, dude, we got some gems, man. Boy, when you get high level at this, I just wanted to spit some high level shit at you, and I stopped myself because I knew it was too much. But y'all, I'm telling you now, there's twists and turns within what we do that allow us to be a notch above the rest, even banks out there, so that private money, when they got some money, they'd be better off giving it to us than the damn bank. That's just real talk. Then there's promissory notes, right? Now, secured by property. Real estate notes are typically secured by a mortgage or a deed of trust on the property being purchased or refinanced. Now, here's the thing. Just follow me here first. Just a hot second. I'm just gonna drop fire all over y'all tonight. Just I don't even know why. I'm just gonna drop it on you. Uh, let's go. So check it out. Mm. And by the way, before I forget, since we're damn near an hour in, the Become the Bank Challenge 11. The Become the Bank Challenge 11 starts November 6th through November 10th. The link is in the description of this video. And the Become the Bank Challenge 11, I'm actually moving some things around that were within the challenge to add a bonus day to the challenge, to drop some new game on you guys, to enhance what you've already gotten in the challenge. And the challenge, y'all, is life changing. Those that go to the challenge and have been to a challenge, they know if they participated in their success, it was life changing. So I'm actually sprinkling just a little bit more pixie dust on there. But I want to give you this. So when you have a private money lender for a property, okay, you can get as many private money lenders as the equity will allow you to have, right? Or it can be negative equity. People are just taking their subordinate positions. So the bank has the first position if there's underlying debt. Now it's best really to do these on free when you get to your free and clear status with us. Once you start buying houses the way that we teach you to buy houses, and you've taken over the mortgage, and then your tenant buyers and they're paying that mortgage down for you, that house becomes free and clear. Guess what? You now have a money printing machine. Just saying. So the bank, though, has the number one position. Let's say there's $150,000 in equity. So you get a $50,000 loan from one of your private money lenders. They take a second position, their subordinate position. Okay, second position for that 50 grand. Now you still got $100,000 in equity. You've got the cash flow that allows you to pay out interest payments to your borrowers, your private money lenders. Okay, now your payments, the way you structure your payments, you do not want to pay monthly interest payments. The reason is because that eats away at your cash flow, and that's our income. All right. So it's cool to pay quarterly, semi annually, or annually. That's the way banks pay out, and we pay a higher interest rate. So, anyway, in addition to that, though, uh, what was I going to say? Oh, there's $100,000 of equity left. So, you can get another $50,000 loan from a different private money lender. Guess what? They take a third position. There's still $50,000 in equity left. Guess what? Boom. Another $50,000 private money lender. And lo and behold, you've just funded your business. You've just funded your business. You've just funded your business $150,000. Sorry, guys. That's Jess, my integrator, messaging me something for y'all, the creative financing lab, actually. Um, Sorry. Hey, I'm an entrepreneur. I just told you guys how to fund your business by 150,000 if you have a house with $150,000 in equity, which we got multiples of them. We got multiples of them. But see, this is the thing. If you're going to begin to, you can't solicit private money just like out there, like you're advertising. Then you're talking to like three letter institutions. Okay. So you can't like promote, you can't be on Facebook and shit like what do they call that? Soliciting. All right. So there's a different way. We'll talk about that in the inner circle and round table. But this is how you fund your business. And it's backed by real estate. So you want to get yourself to a level of where you got properties, right? That you bought using creative financing or subject to. So you're leveraging other people's debt, right? Other people's credit, or you're turning the seller, if it's owned outright, all the way into the bank, all right, into your bank. So you are not personally guaranteeing that debt. And then you're still not personally guaranteeing the debt that you get from the private money lenders, because the private money loans that you're getting is guaranteed by the asset. And voila. And then oh my God, I'm not even gonna get all crazy on you. I was just about to go nuts and I stopped myself. So again, real estate notes are typically secured by a mortgage or a deed of trust on the property being purchased or refinanced. So that's the security. Okay. That's why it says it's secured by, because if you just have a promissory note without the mortgage security on it, the public just doesn't know about it. So it's really a private money lender, because that promissory note is private. It's not on public record. Boom ski. Anyway, the interest rate on a real estate note, it can be fixed, it can be adjustable. It may be based on a benchmark such as the prime rate. I mean, you can do a stutter note, right? So that's just a fluctuating interest rate. I mean, or the payments go up, and it depends on how good you are with the calculator. Woo, man, hold on. Holy smokes. I got lightheaded when I thought about that calculator and what you can do. Mm. Anyway, I'm gonna stop because that's too high level. Repayment terms. The repayment terms of a real estate note may vary, including a set repayment term, interest only payments, or balloon payments. So you can do a note. We do our notes for 18 to 36 months. 18 to 36 months is what we do on our private money lending. Okay. And typically, though, what's going to happen at the end of that 18 months or the end of that 36 months, your private money lender, they're going to want to roll that money back in with you. Listen, if you've been making your interest payments, like you said, you're running a good business, they want three things, guys. This is it. Three things. They want a fair deal. They want a fair deal. They want their money to be safe. Okay. And they want their money to make a difference. Well, guess what? We check all three of those boxes. I'm just saying, I'm giving y'all too much heat tonight, I think. But I got my inner circle on here with me. I gotta give it to you. Mm. Default. In the event of default by the borrower, us, right? If we're getting private money, the lender may have the right to foreclose on the property to recover the outstanding loan balance. Now I'm gonna give y'all, no, I'm just gonna give y'all a really high level tip. And I can tell the world about this because you got to be you got to be in to be able to execute this. But here's the thing with us. See, what I just read to you, if you were just a layperson and you read that, you would think that you had to go to a bank and all of that stuff, like in the event of default by the borrower. So as soon as you hear that word borrower, you think that a person went to a bank. And then you get the lender, and you're like, lender, oh, that's a bank or an institution. The lender may have the right to foreclose. That's what banks do. So everybody's thinking bank, bank, lender, lender, mortgage company. No, this is people. So borrower, that's me. That's you, Tad, Tiff, Coach Molly, Coach Jerry. If you have a private lender, we're the borrower. Okay. The lender is the citizen, the person who has that money under their mattress or sitting in that CD account, gathering that huge 0.0375 interest they're getting per month. I mean, that's the lender. Okay. They may have the right to foreclose on the property to recover the outstanding loan balance. Now, you see where it says they may have the right. So, that just means, what does your promissory note have in there as, what's guaranteeing that debt? Right. And so ours only guarantee the asset at hand, of course. Now, here's the thing, since our assets are held in trust. Now, as many of you know that are on here, since you're in my inner circle, foreclosures, a lot of states have redemption periods. So that would mean that if my private money lender foreclosed on me because I wasn't paying them back, there would still be a redemption period contingent on what state I'm in, and that determines the length of that redemption period. It could be like Texas is 6 months. So you foreclose on me, and I've got a 6 month redemption period. So if I come up with the money that I was foreclosed on, that amount, I can redeem my rights of ownership to that property. So that puts the lender in somewhat of a predicament. Well, since we like to become the bank and we don't like to go to banks and fill out credit applications, well, we can put a little pixie dust in our paperwork for them. So, since our assets are held in trust, we lay it out so that if our private money lender does have to foreclose on us, our right of redemption is waived by the trustee. So, if we don't live up to our side of the bargain, guess what? Since we hold all of our assets in trust, there really won't be, it's a continuity of management. Okay. And in the event that you did have to foreclose, our trustee has already waived the rights of redemption, meaning the minute that foreclosure action has gone through, you get to receive that asset and recoup the money that you have lended out. You can sell that asset. You can loan, borrow money against that asset now because you're the owner. I mean, there's so many things you can do. But the one thing is since you're only loaning me $50,000 and this is a $300,000 asset, seems like you'll be better off. I hope you don't like wish anything bad on me after you borrow me this money. You know what I mean? So that's one of the things about holding it in trust is it puts our lender at an advantage, and their money is safe and secure because it's backed by real estate. I just got a little lightheaded. Okay, so public record. Now listen, guys, listen to me here. This is an important one, and I'm only going to 10. So this is important, guys. And my inner circle, y'all should be soaking this in, watch it again, take some notes, whatever. If you're new to this live, hit that like button. All right. If you feel like I brought you some value, I want you to consider subscribing to the Go Getter Family YouTube channel because this is where I teach y'all and give y'all the actionable knowledge that you need to actually execute these creative finance strategies that banks are hoping that you don't find out about because that takes away their control and gives you control back of your life. So before I forget, we are having the Become the Bank Challenge 11, November 6th through November 10th. All right. It's a 5-day challenge where you're getting the knowledge, the game, the tactics, and the community to finally break free from all of those things that you don't want and getting to the things that you do want. Bottom line, that's the simplest way I could put it. And that's just real talk. Now, if y'all can't tell, I'm feeling myself a little bit. I like talking about money. So check it out. And this is what I love. There's some players on here watching this right now. And with the information that I'm giving you and you bringing what you already bring to the table, the possibilities are limitless. Possibilities are limitless for you. So, public record, real estate notes and the accompanying mortgage or deed of trust are typically recorded with the local government to provide public record of the loan and the security interest in the property. But here's the kicker: real estate notes and the accompanying mortgage or deed of trust are typically recorded. Typically, you don't have to record that deed of trust or that mortgage on public record. Then there's just the note. That's just the evidence of the debt. The deed of trust and the mortgage, it being recorded on public record with the local government, that is the security interest. That's the security interest right there. Boop, that's the lien on the property, and you don't have to do that. Now, here's a quick little difference. Institutional lenders, they are putting a mortgage or a deed of trust, letting the public know that they have a security interest in this asset. Private money, on the other hand, they're not asking you about no damn mortgage. They're not, they, this, that promissory note, and what is the interest they're being paid? What happens if you don't pay back the loan? It's a beautiful thing. Yes, Coach Molly, life changing. I can't wait for 11 now because we're going in. We're making some moves, y'all. We're making some moves. So let me get back to this, man. All right. Transferability. Ooh, transferability. Real estate notes may be transferable, allowing the holder of the note to sell it to a third party investor for a lump sum of cash. Now, hear me out. Hear me out here, please. I need you to hear me out because I'm just making it rain on you. That's all. Just making it rain dollar bills. I, I just happen to do that. I don't know why. It just follows me around. It's like a cloud. It's like a dark cloud hanging over me. It's just raining money everywhere. It's so depressing. All right, so check this out. Listen, please listen here. Please listen here. I'm turning the key to unlock the money code for you here, especially with subject to. So when you buy a house subject to the existing financing, right? You've taken over the underlying debt on that property and you've leveraged someone else's credit. Now, now you own that house and we hold our homes in trust, which triggers off a whole nother bag of goodies, right? But on our disposition, when we sell it, y'all, guess what we create? Just a promissory note. So if you read number 8, transferability, real estate notes may be transferable, allowing the holder of the note to sell it to a third party investor for a lump sum of cash. The reason why you can sell that note is because you have a cash flowing asset that is bringing in a monthly predictable income that will pay back that note. So you have this note and it is cash flowing and you can say, "Hey, I feel like I need a lump sum of money right now. So I know a couple of investors that I'm going to call and I'm going to sell them this note for a little while." That's it. I'm going to sell them the note for a little while. Now you can borrow money on it. You can say, "Hey, give me a $20,000 loan." You can collect the cash flow on this asset for 7 months. At the end of those 7 months, I'll pay you back the 20 grand. You can do it for 18 months. You can do it for 36 months, right? Or you can borrow money just based on the cash flow. If you're cash flowing $1,000 or more on a property each month, right? Well, say you need 5 grand. You can rent that equity out. That's pretty much what you're doing. You get the 5 grand from an investor. You tell them they're getting 7 payments, therefore, or 6 payments even. So the 5,000 they gave you, they're getting 6,000 back. They'd love you. That's a 20% return right there. And guess what? You didn't lose your cash flowing asset because after those 6 months, you get your note back. That means you get to collect that cash flow again. Ta-da! Y'all, I'm just saying. So now, just listen to me here. Just follow me on this. Just think about this now. I need you to put this together in your mind. We buy a house subject to, and we have funded the deal. We created a promissory note based off of the equity on that deal, on that house that we acquired, We acquired this house subject to by taking over the existing mortgage, and it didn't cost that much at acquisition. Maybe it was 5 grand, like Tiff and Tad's deal. And we have a private money lender that comes in and gives us, I don't know, 30 grand or whatever to fund the deal. Boom, you got that. Now, once you sell that house, you create a promissory note for the money that your buyer owes you. That's called a refund because you can fund that note that you just created. Yeah, that's a Go Getter family refund. Whew. Man, it's hot up in here. If you want to do this at a high level, well, I just gave it to you. Documentation, it is important to have a written agreement between the borrower and the lender outlining the terms of the loan. This agreement should be reviewed by a real estate attorney to ensure that it is legally binding and protects both parties. You absolutely want to have your title company and or attorney involved in the borrowing of that private money. Absolutely. Okay. So there's that part. Documentation, super important. Now, I'm going to touch on number 10, the importance of due diligence on both sides. It is important to thoroughly review and understand the terms of a real estate note, including the interest rate, the repayment terms, and any other relevant terms before entering into the loan agreement. This can help to ensure that the loan is in the best interest of the borrower and that the borrower is fully aware of their obligations and rights under the loan agreement. Now, here's one thing with us. I got to go back to up to number 8, transferability, allowing the holder of the note. So if we borrow money from a private money lender, we create a promissory note and our private money lender holds that note. Well, they can sell it to a third party investor for a lump sum of cash. Maybe they're hurting for some cash and we're just paying them, them interest payments. Well, guess what? There's something called a first right of refusal. So whatever they have, whatever valid offer that they have to buy that note, that debt that we owe, Guess what? We have the first right of refusal. So we can buy it if we want to. That's the deal after the deal. Guys, I can't just keep teaching you how to get money out of every crack and crevice that exists in real estate. There ain't no gurus out here that's just going to give it to you like that now. Blowing wigs back. There's layers to this shit. There is levels to this. I keep trying to tell y'all that. Now, if you want to get a bag, well, I ain't got no problem with the bag. I like the bag. I love the bag. Okay. So if you want to get a bag, well, it seems like it kind of feels like that when you become the bank and you do real estate the right way. And if you think about the 12, 13 years that you spent in primary school and all that crap, primary school, secondary school, whatever, whatever, 12, 13 years. And then you went and did 4 years of college. That's 17 years of school. And you didn't learn how to make any money. Can you imagine a year with the Go Getter family? I mean, there's months and people are doing deals, but just imagine 1 year of learning in the Harvard of real estate how to extract cash and assets out of the ether. Ta-da. Man, listen, I'll say this. If you're here now in this moment in time, you've put yourself in a position to become extraordinarily wealthy. Now, the other thing is that if you're here, it is because you do believe that you're worth it. You do. And you believe that your family is worth it. But what we're not going to do and what we don't do here, not at the Go Getter family, Go Getter. We're go getters. All right. So we're not complaining about the things that we don't have with the because of the work that we didn't do. And us here, we're happy with what we have while we're working to get what we want. That's the whole thing. That is the whole thing because life, our past, generational curses, generational chains, distractions, people that maybe they don't like us, maybe they do like us until we reach where they think their station is in life and we're getting ready to surpass that, and now all of a sudden they don't like us. Who knows? And guess what? Who cares? If you're here right now, understand that you will be telling, that blessing that, oh, no, not right now. I'm not, now's not a good time for that blessing. Why don't you come back in like 2 more months? Then I'll be ready because I got to get this right and I got to get that right. I mean, now's just not the right time, blessing. Think about it. Think about it. So I need you to make this conscious decision and understand that you are now accountable. You are accountable because I have literally taught you in this YouTube video how to create money out of the real estate ether. I literally gave that to you. And so now you're accountable. But if you're in proximity to the Go Getter family, and the closer you are to the nexus of this thing, oh, we're about to turn on the printing presses. Did somebody bring some ink? Because we gonna need it. Okay. We are the winners. Go Getters. Yes. Amen. Coach Molly said it. The Go Getter family is a lifestyle. That's right. Boom ski. Focused activity, yes. 40 years in the rat race. That's all right. We're about to get you up out of that thing. So, guys, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. For those of you that may not know who I am, I'm the founder of the Go Getter family. Well, I guess it says it right there. So it's all good. But I want you to hit that like button. All right. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, if you feel like I brought you some value this evening, I want you to consider subscribing. All right. So guys, I appreciate you guys coming in tonight, watching, and I better have about 20 some likes on this thing. Now we're going to have to talk now. We're going to have to discuss it. Now, let me see. I'm checking. I'm about to get on y'all asses. How many likes I got? About to get on you. I got 15. Now there's 6 of y'all lacking now. What's going on? So anyway, y'all, I love y'all, man. I appreciate y'all. And I'm just happy. I'm super happy, man. Super ecstatic to be able to have really to have suffered enough. I'm happy to have suffered enough and suffered through and grew through enough things to be able to get the keys to the knowledge of breaking the real estate money code and be able to pass it on to you all. There was times in life, man, when I was suffering and I didn't know why, you know, and there was time I didn't know why. I'm a good person. I don't deserve this and this, and I didn't know why, like why, you know? Well, this is why. This is why. Because if I would have got things when I thought that I should have things and things should have happened when I thought they should happen, guess what? Would none of us be here. So lucky for me that I got the opportunity to suffer through enough things that led me here right now. And guess what? You're lucky too, because you suffered through enough things that you grew into this moment right here. And if you feel like this isn't your moment and you want to tell God's grace, or you want to tell this blessing that now's not the right time, hey, it's your time, not mine. I know what I'm doing with my time. And it's always the right time for a blessing. But also, I need everybody to understand that we've got to quit thinking that we're going to live forever either, because I do live life like there is no next time, because who knows when there won't be. But when we have that house in order and we've gotten the opportunity to live life on our terms, there aren't many people that get to walk through life that way and to be able to exist on your own terms is a powerful thing. So if you are here, you need to have gratitude that God, the universe, allowed you to suffer through enough things that you suffered right into this moment. You suffered right into the place where the keys to breaking the money code were right at your fingertips. Isn't that something to be thankful for? Isn't that something to look back at the difficult times and see where that refinement came that led you down the path to getting in the room where the keys to breaking the real estate money code were being handed out? Because what if that situation that didn't go the way you thought it should go back then, what if it did go that way? Where would you be? You wouldn't be here, and you might be worse off than you are now. So we've got to capitalize on our opportunities and stop arguing for our limitations. So y'all, I love y'all, man. I appreciate y'all, and y'all already know what it is. Until next time, let's get to it, y'all.
Get it, dude. Like, you could make generational wealth, make a lot more passive income and stuff like that. You could start building and then see the fruits for the future in the long run.
You have to identify your why, G.
Because
we have the opportunity to really take advantage of a situation that others know how to do in a similar fashion, but not quite the way we do.
Mind-blowing guy. All of you guys are. I'm so impressed with the talent that God has drawn together. I love it.
I think for me, it's just making sure I'm doing things daily. And so I have that very simple go-getter weekly, check off list. Like I'm just filling in the box. They're all helpful. So the persistence piece of it was definitely good.
So I bought a house. I didn't know what I was doing. First year I got there, I was like 23 years old, and it was scary, but I did it.
And the difference is we partner with you, right? In a situation where we want to help you get to the next one without you having to spend all your time. That's the key.